Hi, I'm Heidi Clark with the Essex ReTorter, and we're here today with Phil Murdoch, owner of Chapin Orchards here in Essex. We're also here with Senator Irene Renner. Irene is on the Agricultural Committee in the State Senate, and I'm sure she has plenty of questions for you.
Thank you, Heidi. Hi, Phil.
Hi, Irene.
So sorry to hear about this damage.
The big freeze.
Is that what we're calling it?
Well, they had a headline on the Free Press just a couple days ago that was something like that. I call it the big freeze or whatever. But and it's actually I'm pleased to see that people are calling it a freeze and not a frost, because you can handle a frost. I mean, a frost, is not, it can be bad at certain times, but the stage that we were at, we could handle 29, 30 degrees, and we probably would have been okay. But it got down to 24 for an extended period of time here on the night of the 17th of May and morning of the 18th. And so we were below freezing for well over 10 hours, and then down into the 24 range, which there's all kinds of science that will show you, and there's charts that will talk about damage. And when you get down to I think the chart, and it's escaping me now, but when you get down to around 28 degrees or 29 degrees, you're talking about a 90% or about a 10% loss of crop. When you get down to like 26 or 27 degrees, you get about a 90% loss, and we were down to 24 degrees. So we experienced what we're, it's hard to tell at this point exactly what the numbers are, but it's in the 90 to 95% loss. So I can't put apples back on the trees, so I don't have that, so we won't have pick your own this season. But we're trying to look for apples in Vermont that we can purchase at a wholesale rate and then sell them at a retail rate and try to recoup some of the, at least try to survive.
So can you show us some of these trees, maybe?
Sure. These are some of the old trees from 1929 that they originally planted here. And,
is 100 years a lot to ask of a tree?
Yes. But this tree has good genes or something, because it is a wonderful tree. It's always prolific. It's always full of apples. See if you can find an apple. Normally what you'd see standing here, you would see hundreds of apples and just without even moving your feet. And they would be, and we have beautiful foliage. The trees are growing. You can see new growth this year. So have you found an apple yet?
No.
Okay.
It's hard to believe it's an apple tree.
This tells you what it is. I can come inside the tree, and I think I can probably find something. There might be some interior fruit, here's an apple right there. That's what they should look like. But that's one apple, and took us, 3 minutes to find it? So most New England orchards are, Macintosh and Cortland heavy, right? Because that's the tradition.
That's in it, yeah.
And Macintosh is a classic New England apple, bred in Canada, and then it's cold weather, bred for cold weather. It usually does very well. Now the Liberty, in contrast. So this is the Liberty. Now,
I see apples up here.
yeah, in this it may look like there's a lot of apples, and there's quite a few. Yeah. But this tree normally would have, literally, again, you'd be able to stand here and there'd be hundreds of apples. This apple is cold damage. Okay, so that was formed.
Or something?
That russeting, is from the cold. And that's why it's misshapen, and it probably doesn't have any seeds in it. And so even the fact that we have some fruit, a lot of it's going to be damaged from the freeze. We know what's going to happen. People are going to show up.
Of course they are. Yeah.
And they're going to go, hey, we're here to pick. And we're going to go, well, we're not doing any pick your own. And because they go, why? And May 18th. And we're going to have all the other products, the syrup and the honey and the jellies and jams and the other products that we all get from our partners that are within a couple miles of here. And, but who's going to come? The bulk of the people come for the pick your own. And then, we sell about half of our crop normally with pick your own. So already we're, half of it, so are people not going to show up? You do see it. I see it a lot when people just show up and they look at the barn and they're looking at this space and they're looking at this view. and they're going, you know,
It's a fantastic view.
you know, they're just looking at it going, wow, this is Vermont. And they enjoy it. And people spend hours here.
Yeah.
So they spend 10, 15 minutes picking apples, and they spend hours here enjoying the property. So hopefully we can figure out a way to keep people at least a short visit and help keep us going for the next year, because that's the goal.
So last night I had occasion to go to the New Vermont Cider Lab over in the Essex Experience, and they're partnering with some local orchards for cider acquisition.
Yeah, well, looking for cider to make their product. Yep.
Exactly. And so I understand this year is not a good one for you, but in the future, is that something you'd be interested in doing?
Definitely, I would love to. I have not had an opportunity to meet the owners. I do need to get off the farm and go out and
This might be the year.
and introduce myself. You know, especially since it's in Essex, we have spent we have done that before with Citizen Cider, and we have partnered with them before. You know, early on, and we don't have a lot of extra cider capacity, but for a little. You know, for small amounts, you know, a few hundred gallons here and there, we can do that. We did work with, with Grace Meyer last year, the previous owner's daughter, and she's runs a vineyard, and they were doing a special vineyard, you know, wine cider mix, and so we made a blend for them for Grace last year. We've worked with. You know, Arrowhead in cidery in Milton. And we've collaborated with them and worked with, or looked at, you know, talked with them. And so we've done some, you know, reach, you know, we just don't, you know, under normal years, we try to sell all of our product right here. And, but we have the ability some years to, when we have a decent crop and we may have a little bit of a surplus apples, to provide cider for some niche operations.
Terrific.
The message is support your local farmer. Right. Please, you know, come out and enjoy the space, enjoy the drive up the dirt road and walk around. We're going to allow people to walk through the orchard, and we're thinking about, you know, do the hay wagon, keep the hay wagon ride, maybe set up tours. We're going to try to put a smile on and try to make the best of it, and then just get the word out to people so that they don't show up disappointed. That's
Thank you both. This is Heidi Clark with the Essex ReTorter, speaking with Senator Irene Renner and Phil Murdoch, owner of Chapin Orchards. Thank you.
Thank you.